Hi, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. My name's FM18, and you're watching the Dafuge Challenge, episode 121, with Enfield Town FC. Well, it was a busy off-season, a lot of movement, especially behind the scenes, a lot of coaches and scouts and the like moving. I went into the transfer window with a couple goals in mind. I wanted a young striker of quality that could grow into a premier striker. Had my scouts pick out three in particular. Wanted to strengthen the midfield. Wanted to add some depth to the defensive line. Honestly, was it a successful transfer window? Yes and no. And you'll see why in just a minute. We spent $20.5 million. We let go $3 million. Let's run down those here. Varsiotis went back on loan to Woking. Doug Foster left to Park Thistle on a free. Valdo went to Sampdoria for $1.9 million. Garmendia ended up going to Real Sporting Gijon, I can't pronounce that, for $1 million. Campiercho ended up going to Perugia Calcio on a free. I tried to sell him for 100% of his value, for 70% of his value, for percentage of his value all the way down to 5%. There were no takers. I ended up letting him go, so he was a wash. Chris Williams is at Dartford on loan. They are my new affiliate. I have a League 1 affiliate, a League 2 affiliate, and a Vanarama affiliate, which is a nice breakdown. It'll let me loan out some players and get them some first-team playing time against some decent opponents. Mark Thompson went on loan to Exeter City. Adrian Ugarte I put out there on a transfer. Instead, he ended up going on loan to Deportivo La Coruña for £14,000 a month, plus they're paying almost all of his salaries. On the end, Martin McCann on loan from Rangers. 18 years old, star and a half current ability, 4.5 star potential ability. He's depth on the forward line. He's here on a rotation status. He's only here for 4 months, and I'll show you why in just a minute. Mohamed Al Sayed, my scout in Africa found. 2-star current ability, 5-star potential ability, 18 years old. Already has international appearances for Egypt. In 2 to 3 years, he will definitely be on the starting line, if not sooner. Good physicals, pretty good mentals. The flair and off the ball are a little troubling. The technicals are good where they count. 13 marking, 16 tackling already. The 16 natural fitness. He's 18 years old. He'll get better. Eddie Pilipovic from Croatia, Hajduk split, is our second big signee of the offseason. £15 million. Had my eye on him for a couple of years now. International appearances on the under-21 and national team level. Already a wonder kid. 4-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. Excellent physicals, other than the jumping reach. Really good mentals. The 16 decision-making I like. You know, when your lowest score on mentals is a 9 and that's your flair, there's nothing wrong with that. His technicals are also really good. 16 first touch, 17 passing, 17 technique. Okay marking, okay tackling. 20 years old, 37,000 pounds a week. He is going to be here for as long as I can keep him. He showed up on my scouting 2 years ago. I kept tabs on him. And then this offseason, I went to Hajduk Split and I made an inquiry about him. And they said, no way in heck. And I said, well, what about for £15 million? And they were like, yeah, sure. Okay, cool. Samuel Hewitt comes to us from Arsenal. Attacking midfielder. Also can play striker and midfielder. 22 years old, 2.5 star current ability, 3.5 star potential ability, pretty solid across the board. Again, the jumping reach kind of lets him down, but he has a ton of player traits that I do like. He tries killer balls often, curls the ball, comes deep to get him, avoids using his weaker foot, likes to switch the ball to the other flank. I brought him in mostly as depth for when I play the 4-3-1-2. Plus, I can stick him on the bench, and I know he can play any one of three positions relatively well. Angel Gomes comes to us on a free transfer. 30 years old now. A pretty solid career. I needed some depth on the midfield line and the attacking midfield position. At 30 years old, I can get a couple years out of him. He's also proven to be a very good tutor. His physicals are okay. The 17 acceleration is nice. Everything else is kind of falling off a bit. The 16 determination, 20 flair is great. The technicals, they're falling a little bit as well, but 15 first touch, 14 passing, 15 technique. If I can get 1 or 2 more years out of him, I'll be happy. And he's not costing me a ton either, only £60,000 a week. I've got him tutoring Jeremy Miller, and I think that will really help the young Australian player out. This keeps switching on me. We got Syed, we got Pilipovic, Hewitt, Gomes, McCann, Daniel Diallo. Academy JMG is the Côte d'Ivoire equivalent of the FFA Center of Excellence. I don't know what it is. I started playing this game in FM17. Every save I have ever had in FM17 and FM18, be it a personal save or just me, futzing around, playing a team every once in a while, there's always at least 1 or 2 good players that come out of this school. In FM17, it was a guy for me by the name of Ernest Addo. When I was playing in France, I started out with a team in the conference and then took them to League One and ended up dominating League One for a few years. He was an advanced midfielder on the right, and he averaged 24 assists a season. He was just brilliant. Daniel Diallo is a midfielder. 18 years old, 2-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability, already doesn't dive into tackles, already runs with the ball often, excellent physicals, good mentals. I love the 16 determination, the 12 composure, the 12 decision making, the 12 teamwork is nice. Good technicals. I mean, his one failure is he can't make a long throw to save his life. 14 passing, 15 technique, 11 marking, 7 tackling. He's only going to get better. He's 18 years old. We've got a couple of future transfers, including my striker of the future. But first, Domen Milinovic, a young center mid from Slovenia. I signed him in the off-season, but he can't report until November, and I'm not quite sure why, but he's here at the club. But he doesn't officially join the club until November. He's here at the club now. He's training with the club. I got him playing on the under-18s. Just for whatever reason, he can't come here until November. 1-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability. He's already improved a decent amount since I've had him playing here. As you can see, his attributes are going up across the board. And at 17 years old, all those are only going to get better. The 1 flair does bother me, but the 15 determination, the 13 decision making, the 14 vision more than make up for that. His physicals are going to get better as he gets older. He's a long-term project, 3-4 years down the road. I think he will be starting on the midfield line. I picked him up on a free. My scout was bumping around Europe. I had him looking for hot prospects, and this guy popped up on a free. I made the offer, and he's on his way in. Eugene Chuprina is the guy I looked at last year. I made an offer for him. Dynamo Kiev said, yeah, sure. And then when it got to the contract talks, he said, I just signed a new contract with him. I don't want to leave. Saw a thing come across the wire that said he was unhappy with the team. I went in, made an offer. I'm actually paying less this year than I would have paid last year. I saw him crop up on the screen flow when he showed up on the under-21s, and he already has an appearance for the national team as well. And I'll be honest, I don't remember why he showed up on the under-21s, but usually young strikers and stuff like that, I'll take a look at them, and if their attributes look pretty good, I'll send a scout out and just take a look at them. This guy, he is... what the heck? I've already scouted him. I know I've already scouted him. I don't know why the scout thing's not popping up. When I go to... I know I've scouted him. I spent freaking a year scouting him. I wonder what's going on here. I think he is a 5-star potential player. I don't know why the scouting thing's not popping up. I wonder if it's an issue with the skin I'm using. But 17 years old, his physicals are almost all 10 or above. Mentally, the 17 bravery really stands out. 15 determination. There's 15 off the ball, 15 work rate, 14 aggression, 14 anticipation. Those are only going to get better the more he trains. 12 crossing, 15 finishing, 15 first touch, 15 heading, 10 passing, 13 technique. 17 years old. Yeah, I'm taking a risk, but I have the money to spend this year. Why not take that risk? And if he doesn't pan out, he doesn't pan out. He can't join the team until January of next year. I think that's an age thing with the Ukrainian clubs. And that's why we brought in Martin McCann. McCann's going to leave in January when Trippier comes in. And he's going right into the starting lineup. Schedule-wise, we are off to a really good start. Started the friendlies out by playing my affiliates. We got invited to do a tour in Italy. Originally, we were playing Venezia and Fermana FC, who are both Serie B teams. And then I threw in Anzio and Genoa and Rapid Vienna. And I screwed up. I thought Rapid Vienna was going to be away. Instead, it was at home. But we still made a decent amount of money off of that. I'm kind of surprised it wasn't televised. As you can see, we had a really successful friendly season. And I was afraid we were just setting ourselves up to fail. I mean, especially after, we beat Venezia 4-1. We beat Anzio 8. Genoa's fallen out of the Serie A. They're in Serie B, but they're an upper table team there. And Rapid Vienna is a pretty good team in the Austrian Bundesliga. I want to say they finished third last year. I don't have that league loaded, so just looking at them doesn't tell me that off the top. But I know they've won the Austrian league in the past few years as well. We turned in some pretty solid performances against them. We got the Premier season kicked off away at West Brom. And if you were to just look at the match stats, you would have thought West Brom ran us all over the field. The fact of the matter is they had 8 long shots. They only had 8 on target. They had 1 woodwork hit, which was a close run thing, to be honest. They only had 3 clear-cut chances and 7 half chances. We had 9 shots, 5 on target. We didn't have any clear-cut chances, only 3 half chances. And as you can see, one of our goals was Al Jahani from outside the box. It was an absolute screamer. Hank Kremer had a 3rd-minute goal to get things off to a quick start. Jahani's goal came in the 8th minute. Jordan Hodge scored right before the end of the first half. Paulo Vitor had a pretty unfortunate goal off a set piece in the 26th minute. Reece Nelson scored for West Brom in the 29th minute to equalize things. I'm not quite sure what to think about this game. The one takeaway was that Hernandez broke his finger about midway through the first quarter, and I had to leave him in the game because I usually don't carry a second keeper on the bench. I've got Wozniak, but he wasn't in the substitutes. The guys bent, but they didn't break. Al Jahani had a really good game with a goal and an assist and a lot of key passes. This is one of those games I suspect if we played West Brom 10 times, we'd split 5-5. After beating West Brom, Brighton came to Enfield Town Stadium and we absolutely smashed them 5-1. Linus Windle had an 8th-minute goal. Tom Yu a 61st-minute goal. Hank Kremer had a brace of goals in the 67th and 90th minutes. Plibovic also had a 78th-minute goal. Brighton got on the board because Vincent Muguo got in the way of a pass that, honestly, you could kind of tell he was as shocked by it as everybody else. One of the Brighton players kicked a pretty hard cross, and Muguo moved up and intercepted the ball. The ball bounced off him and passed Wozniak. It wasn't anything Woz could do to stop it. So in that regards, we lost the clean sheet. But this was a solid game for us. 17 shots, 9 on target, 2 clear-cut chances, 3 half chances, 8 long shots again, and a pretty decent possession advantage. Everybody had a solid performance. The only people that had the average 6-8s were those guys I brought on at the half, and even then, Phil Coe managed to 7-1. This was a solid one for us. Now, the reason I haven't played on any further is, as you can see, we made it to the Europa League group stage by finishing 7th in the Premier League last year. The FA Cup was Chelsea and Man United, and they had both already qualified. So the fact that one of them won meant we snuck our way in. There's no other way to put it. We snuck our way in. So the draw for that is today. So we're going to do the draw, and then we're going to play West Ham. Europa League draw. You know what? We've got to be third seeds. Yeah, we're third seeds. So we're going to blitz through the first 2. Wow. Well, Napoli's actually really good in my save, as is Anderlecht. Boy, if I had to guess, I'd probably say Group E or Group F. That's where we want to be. And we end up in Group B with Napoli and Red Bull Salzburg. Okay. Let's finish the draw here. AAB from Denmark. I don't know them. At least I don't know them from... Okay. Check this out here. Aalborg. Okay. No, I don't have them loaded. And I'm not seeing them here. I wonder if they won some sort of Superliga Cup to qualify. I'd like to think we can at least challenge for one of the spots. I think Red Bull is going to win the group hands down. Second place is going to be between us and Napoli. Well, Arsenal sure as heck has an easy path. Well, we have West Ham coming up, so I'm going to set the best 11 for that, and then we will be back with that live comm in just a bit. Well, today we are away at West Ham, and they are playing a 4-2-3-1, Bernardo in goal, Trevuzio, Durante, Urukai, and Freeman as the defensive back 4, Reynolds and Goodwin as the midfielders, Brown, Becker, and Schaap as the attacking midfielders, Burke up top as the strikers. We are playing our 4-3-3 with Wozniak in goal, Vitor, Mugul, Millen, and Bautista as the defensive back 4, Mew, Polipovic, and Wendell as the midfield 3, Hodge, Al-Jahani, and Kremer up top as the strikers. Kremer was actually up. Brown is charging on the left, and his shot is very wide. Kremer was actually pretty popular in the offseason. More than a few teams made offers for him, but they were in the 17 to 20 million pound range with add-ons going up to maybe 22 to 25 million. And I couldn't accept any of them. I mean, they were okay offers. They weren't great, but they weren't low balls either. Plipovic to Wendell, who loses the ball, up to Burke. To Schaap on the right, dispossessed, Mewed, Polipovic. Up to Al-Jahani, taps over to Kremer. Oh, back and forth, and Hodge's shot goes right to Bernardo. But Kremer's turned into the striker we thought he could be. He's not world class, but he's definitely close to it, I think. And having said that, he just went out injured. Brown with the ball to Reynolds. Back up to Brown, who's alone on the left. Crosses it in. Burke is there, and he scores. I'm not going to say I saw that coming a mile away, but I saw it coming. Yeah, Burke was left with just the defender on the backside. Coming up on halftime. Well, we've had 4 shots, 4 on target, but they've had a huge possession advantage. West Ham's had 2 shots, 1 on target. Okay. None of my playmakers are having any success. 60 minutes in. No highlights this second half, although we've had shots. We're going to take Hodge off and bring on Hewitt as part of the 4-3-1-2. We're also going to get Vidor off, bring Holm on. Holm to Blivovic to Hewitt, whose pass gets intercepted by Durante. Bernardo sends it up. Millen knocks it down to Wendell. To Hewitt. Up to Al-Jahani. Back to Mew. I'm not quite sure what that was. I think it was a cross meant for Al-Jahani, but it went right to Bernardo. He sends it up. Bautista knocks it down to Wendell, who taps it up to Mew. To Hewitt. To Al-Jahani. To Hewitt. To Wendell. Cross it to Hewitt, who is there for the goal. Some nice ball movement by us. It was a nice job by Wendell not taking the shot, too. Can we get one back the last 10 minutes? Well, I had to get up to go let the dog out. Thought I paused the game and hadn't. And we've managed to go ahead. So let's see what that goal is. Mugo up to Wendell, to McCann. Over to Hewitt, back to Wendell to Al-Jahani. Oh, what a strike. That was well done. Millen to Wendell to McCann. Back to Bautista. Over to Plipovic to Mew. Oh, Udokai. Oh, Mugo got in front of Burke. Sends it back to Wozniak. Out to McCann, who knocks it down. It goes right to Udokai. Millen has the ball now. Sends it to Wendell to Plipovic, and that is the game. In my defense, it's also about 1 a.m. in the morning, too. It's Georgia's evening constitutional, as I like to call it. It's a good win for us. But Hank Kramer got injured. We can't really afford to be without him long term, I think. The second half comeback is always nice. 2 to 3 weeks with a concussion. Okay, that's not too bad. You know what? We're going to skip ahead a few games. And come back for Red Bull. And then we will come back and do the 2 Napoli games. Then after that, see where we are. Well, this was a solid off-season for us. I could have gone hog wild and spent £80 million on 2 or 3 players. And part of me was tempted to, but the more I thought about it, even though FM18 is coming out in a couple of weeks, this is still a save I'll come back to from time to time. You know, every couple of weeks or so, I still fire up FM17 to play my long-term save on that. Just to kind of reminisce about what I missed from that version. I want to build the team the right way. I want to build it long-term. Even though FM19 is only 2 weeks away, and my goal is to win the Premier League and win the Champions League, something tells me if I drop a bunch of money on 2 or 3 players to get that done, I'm cheating. And that's a personal thing. That said, I like that we've gotten off to a fast start. I told the team we'd finish mid-table this year. I would love to finish in a European spot, Europa League or Champions League. Doesn't matter to me. Champions League would be great. I think if we maintain this fast start and our defense solidifies come the January transfer window, while I still have a bunch of money to spend, if I need to spend 30 or 40 million pounds on a player in the January transfer window to help the team over that particular hump, I'd be willing to do that then. I realize it doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's just how I feel. That said, we are off to a really good start. Let's hope we can keep it going. Let's hope this is also the year we get past the 5th round of the FA Cup. 4 years in a row now we've gone out in the 5th round of the FA Cup. I want to at least get to a quarterfinal in that. If you liked what you've seen and heard, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content. Questions, criticisms, comments, leave them down below. I will answer them as fast as I can. My name's FM18. Thank you for watching.